Well, we are finally down here at Traders Hill Cemetery, circa 1860. Now, this cemetery, I was down here, it's been a while. It's been at least a dozen years and maybe longer. But this is not the cemetery that I remember. Now, I know that I'm pretty sure Captain E.D. Tracy is buried down here. E.D. Tracy was with the 4th Georgia Cavalry out of this area, which the Green family and some of the other branches of my family served with the 4th Georgia. Some of them is infantry, but most of them is cavalry. Burials 1860 to 1960. Families named Brock, Brooks, Bryant, Chesser, Gay, Gowan, Jones, Keene, Lloyd, and Tracy. Now, on this side here, there's a Davis plot there. There was a lot of Davises up here on the river. But like I said before, I don't think any of them are kin, except distant kin. Now there's kind of a marble divider here between cemetery. I think what it amounts to is probably they maybe allow newer burials on this side, and maybe the older burials are on the other side, maybe, I'm not sure. Most all the newer ones are on this side. Annie Elma, daughter of E.W. and Eva Peoples, born and died in 1920. And see more of this Victorian style fencing for the people that could afford it. This was very popular. Like I say, most all this over on this side is newer. There are a few older ones here we're going to look at. Some of them are very indistinguishable. Some you can read more readily. And got a Maddox here, and like I say, a lot of these stones you can hardly read them anymore. Now, I'm familiar with this Bryant name. I have run across it many times. This here is Johnny Bryant, 1822 to 1879. He was a Confederate soldier. I do remember seeing his name on some of the muster rolls. I don't remember which one, but there's a good chance he was in one of the Georgia units. I've done some extensive research, being a lot of my family was from this area. Like I say, Traders Hill is where everybody came. You know, if you joined the militia or you joined anything else, you come to Traders Hill. Otherwise, you had to go to Fernandina. Now, there's a name Gay here. Now, there's no date on this. This is an infant daughter of Hinton and Mary Ann Gay. Now, I just talked about the Gay family down at, or mentioned the Gay family down at the Traders Hill landing as a family that was molested during the massacre. Now, this is something that, wow. This is a, Lord, that's got to be at least 20 inches wide, if not a little bit more. But that is a solid wood plank, and it's got a hollow spot in it. But that's been there for a long time. There's no markings of any kind on that, but you just don't see wood headstones. That chunk of wood there, I know, is at least 100 years old, maybe more. The Brooks family. There's a lot of other newer burials here. There's another cemetery I've been to. I don't remember the name. Now, I did pass a chapel cemetery on the way in here. Maybe that's it, but it's a huge open cemetery, and I'd like to find it again. It's got kind of a memorial in it with a lot of the 4th Georgia boys. Now, over here is the Tracys. Now, like I said in the previous video, or the one after this, whichever one I posted first, and that's James Downey, born 1835, died 1868. Masonic headstone. And the Masons had a lodge right down the road and next to the courthouse. These are all, this is not sure, it's illegible, can't read it. Helen Tracy Stafford. So I have to wonder if that was one of the Tracys that married into my Stafford family. So some of her children could be cousins of mine. Washington Irvin Tracy. Sacred memory of Mrs. Maria J. Tracy, born 1812, died 1876. Now, this is E.D. Tracy, 1810 to 1877, farmer, merchant, militiaman, lawyer, legislator, born in Windham, Connecticut. How ironic is that a man from Connecticut would fight for the South in the war between the states. Born September 22nd, 1810, died Traders Hill, Georgia, February 18th, 1877. Led the Captain E.D. Tracy Company of Floyd's Mounted Militia, Georgia Volunteers in the Seminole Indian War, 1838 and 1840. Elected to the Florida Legislature, 1845. Senate President, 1848. United States Timber Agent, 1849 to 1853. Colonel in the Florida Militia, 1850. President of the Florida Constitutional Revision Convention, 1865. Resolution commemorating his career adopted by the Florida Senate and signed by its president March 9th, 1982. So this is by far the most famous person buried in this cemetery. Everybody here is important. Do not get me wrong by any means. But I've known the name E.D. Tracy since at least the middle 80s, since I started doing genealogy work. More of the Tracys. They have a long, one plot deep thing here that goes right down the middle of the cemetery that is reserved for the Tracy family. Got another wooden marker here where there's no name, of course, on it. And looks to me like that. I don't have a flashlight with me. Looks to me like that. It might say Mizell in a concrete and hand written. Here again, more of the Tracys. So I knew this was going to be a little short cemetery visit. And like I say, the main reason I come here was to see the grave of E.D. Tracy. Here we've got Lucian P. Tracy Sr., 1835 to 1898. Another Confederate veteran. Got a lot of Confederate veterans in here. Some of them are marked by flags, some are not. This one here actually has a John Houston Lloyd, Private Company C, 4th Georgia Cavalry, Confederate States of America, 1827 to 1896. Now he was in Company C of the 4th Georgia. Now Jess Green and his bunch, if I'm not mistaken, was Company D of the 4th Georgia. So I may ride down to the other little cemetery there and see if that's the other one that I come up on years ago. It is huge and has several memorials in it, if it's the one I'm thinking about. If I can find it, I'll film it. If I don't, then of course I'm not going to film it. So anyway, once again, I want to thank y'all for being with me today. Again, it's always a pleasure doing these, and I enjoy getting out and doing them and filming them for you guys. So once again, please like, subscribe, comment. Y'all have a good day, and God bless you now.